Hello children, welcome back. Today I am here with a new story. I hope all of you like stories. Are you all ready? Do you remember the story of hunter-gatherers which I told in the last class? You liked it, right? Okay. Children, we are going to study the story of farmers and herders today. We all know that for plants and animals to grow, they prefer particular type of climate and area. Is wheat and barley grown in Kerala? No, right? Rice is grown in Kerala because rice required a lot of water and Kerala's climate is suitable for the growth of rice. Similarly, different type of animals also prefer different climatic conditions and regions. Goat and sheep are grown in hilly region than cattle. It was 12,000 years ago, the climate of the earth started gradually changing. The earth became warmer and many grasslands were formed. The number of animals that depended on the grass also multiplied. So there was a change in the life of human being too. People who were hunter-gatherers slowly became farmers and herders. Men, women and children probably might have found the seeds falling down, slowly new plants coming out, and they found it that they are edible, and this might have made them think about growing and protecting these plants. So they stayed there, they watered, they protected the plants from birds and animals. It was at the same time that they started taming animals. Do you know which was the first animals to be tamed? It was the wild ancestor of the dog. The dog was the first animal to be tamed by the human beings. People might have left the food near the place where they stayed. This might have attracted the animals. Slowly, sheep, goat and other animals also were domesticated. Thus, early man became farmers and herders. Now that they had become farmers, they had to stay near the farms and they had to protect their plants, water them, weed them and wait for them to ripen. Once the seed is ready, they had to store them. So, thus they started making pots and baskets. Do you think the hunter-gatherers used pots and baskets? No, they did not because they never stored their food. Not only plants, animals was also storehouses of food. They gave them meat, milk, etc. So whenever they wanted, they can use it. Archaeologists have found evidences of Neolithic man living all over India. They have discovered the pit houses of Neolithic man at Burzahum. These pit houses had steps leading to them and there were hearths in and out of the houses and traces of grains were found there. Cooking was done and this shows that Neolithic man prepared their food and they stayed in one place and they built houses. There are many Neolithic sites all over India. Some of the Neolithic sites are Payambali in Andhra Pradesh, Hallur in Karnataka, Virzahum in Kashmir, Chirand in Bihar, Mehagar in today's Pakistan, etc. There were many other places too where Neolithic men stayed in India or lived in India. Now let's learn about the Neolithic tools. Neolithic men used tools which were more sharp and polished than that of the Paleolithic tools. They made fine tools. They also made mortar and pestle. This was used for grinding the grains. This life of Neolithic man was much different from the hunter-gatherers you studied earlier. Neolithic people used various types of pots. Some were decorated, beautiful designs were on them. They used it for cooking food, storing the grains for further use, etc. This was the time they started weaving. They started using cotton clothes. Cotton was grown all over India. Children, all these changes did not happen all of a sudden. It was a slow, gradual process. Even when some of the sites were Neolithic, there were other parts of India where still people were hunter-gatherers. In some other places, people did both hunting, gathering and also farming. Even today, children, there are places where people live primitive life. One such example is the North Sentinel Island. Sentinels are the people, even today, they have no connection with the outside world. This island is in Andaman and Nicobar Island group where other outside people are not allowed to enter. There are such places in Africa too. So still in this modern world, when we are living in the modern world, there are people who live the primitive life. Children, in various places like Melghar, which is situated in the Bolan Pass, near the Bolan Pass in the present day Pakistan, archaeologists have also discovered houses which are of rectangle and square shape. People had lived there, and the Neolithic men had a practice, that is, they believed in life after death. That is, if somebody died, what they did is they just buried them along with whatever things they were using, whether it is a pot or whether it is even the goat, the animals which they were using, whatever things they were using, they just buried along with the dead body. This showed that they were believing in life after death. It is something interesting, right? So children, in today's class, you learned the story of farmers and hunters. The farmers and hunters were living a much advanced life than the Paleolithic people. Later, cities developed in India, big kingdoms came, and everything was changing. Changing is inevitable, right? So what did you learn today? You learned the story of Neolithic man, that is, the story of hunters and herders. How they lived, how they grew food, how they cooked their food, how their house was looking like, etc. Children, you all like drawing, right? Just imagine a house of an early man, a Neolithic man. Draw a pit house, color it. Are you ready for that? So do it as your activity. Thank you children. We'll soon meet with another topic. Bye.